Welcome into the Hong Kong Fusion Podcast with your hosts, Dave, Jack, and Tyler.
What's going on, everybody? We're back. And we experienced a lively group chat during the Monday night doubleheader, specifically around the Bengals and Rams, which you'll hear about briefly. Not a good week for the boys overall. I went 0-2. Tyler had a less than ideal week. And
week over here.
Yeah.
2-0 for this guy.
Not a bad week for Duck Sauce.
How many points did you score, Jack?
170.
You would say that's like
0.2.
really good, right? Like,
That was second most in the league.
Yeah, I mean that's way higher than the average scorer typically is.
I would say so, yes.
Yeah, so like if someone scored like 5 points less, like they would definitely also be 2-0.
It's a safe bet for most weeks.
Yeah, well, fuck me, I guess. Move on. Let's just get it over with.
We will get into the matchup review where everyone can hear all about that. I played against Todd. And Todd saved all of his points for this week. He put up more than 100 points more than he did in week 1. So that was fun for me.
To be fair, he did not put up a lot of points in week 1.
He did not. No, he didn't.
I remember that fondly.
Yeah. Also barely beat the median with 166, like we talked about. Tough week for those that put up a lot of points and still lost. But yeah, Todd, a lot of Todd's players did very well. Mark Chase looked like a first round pick. Debo at the start of the week just kind of set me up for knowing that it was going to be a bad week. Until Joe Mixon scored Monday night, this is fun. I didn't have a single touchdown in my starting roster, the exception of quarterback. So you get one touchdown from your skill position players, and it's not the best. So that being said,
I have an excellent segue, unless you're not done, because I have Tyreek Hill, and he scored a touchdown at about 1:04 p.m. on Sunday.
Yeah. The Dolphins did well. We'll say that, but all you, Jack.
I'll say. That helped me. Tyreek Hill touchdown helped me take down Pete, who scored 154. And not only did he lose to me, but he was below the median.
Yes, he was.
For 5 teams in the 160s and higher. So I was convinced I was going to lose when Sam Laporta scored a 50-yard touchdown, because it's hard to lose that many points at tight end, of which I lost by 15 there. But we chipped away. We went 5 for 5 in the field goal department. Had a nice 20 spot from the kicker.
Always helps.
Yeah, certainly helps. Another 30 from Tyreek Hill, 30 from Herbert. No one did bad. Yeah, it was a good week, good win. The whole time it was very close. Like the projected score was never more than 10 points above. But he gave me a scare with Jordan Love's comeback. Jordan Love had like 4 points, and then going into the fourth quarter, and then he had 24 points.
Yes, he did. Jordan Love, QB4 on the year.
Not bad. Not to be confused with the running back for Devin Achane, who was on Pete's bench. which
It
I don't
is.
really blame him. Like, I don't know. I wouldn't have played him, I don't think.
Well, I just want to say that the three of us are the smartest men in the world and did start him in another league.
Good. Not
We
sure if
will
that's
we will certainly not mention the running back depth that we have in that league. That can stay buried. But yeah, let's move on to the matchup that I know Jack and I are super excited to listen to be discussed. Before you start that, actually,
Somebody's angry.
Well, I'm not angry. I don't know what you're talking about. I've moved past it all. No, I'm just kidding. T. Higgins is dead to me. So the day started on a very high note. I have Raheem Mostert, who is amazing, apparently, and the RB1 on the year. I also had Justin Jefferson and Lamar Jackson, who showed that he was amazing at football again. And Firemuth caught a touchdown. He saved his day. Even DJ Moore caught a touchdown to save his day. At one point, I was projected to win by 70 points.
that's so many more touchdowns than my team scored.
Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, Raheem Mostert had 4 himself.
That's 4 more than everyone on
Yeah.
my team scored till Mixon.
So like I said, I was projected to score more than 70 than my opponent. And then Adam Thielen and Devontae Adams happened. And they took that 70 and nullified it. Fortunately, in the same game, I had Jacoby Myers, who put up 15. So I was up about 20 going into the Monday night games, and he had DeAndre Swift. My math might be wrong. Might not have been 20. I was up enough that I thought, okay, I have T. Higgins. Between my lead and T. Higgins, I should be able to nullify whatever he has plus DeAndre Swift.
Yeah.
And it didn't happen. I lost 168 to 165. T. Higgins gave me 4 points. Now, let's just recap. Let's go back to week 1. Let's just go back. Where he had 8 targets, but really he didn't have 8 targets. He had like 2 sort of catchable targets and then 6 balls that were not in his catch radius, but close enough that the NFL said these are targets. Okay.
Sam Darnold targets.
Yeah, Sam Darnold targets. Okay. That's not on T. Higgins. That was Joe Burrow being hurt and not having a preseason, whatever. Week 2, he redeems himself. It looks great. He scores 2 touchdowns, puts up, I think he was a RB or wide receiver. He was a top 3 receiver, I think.
Sounds right.
So I am very confident going into this. Oh, I only need 7 points. It comes out. I need 7 points out of you. Oh, that's easy. It's a PPR league. Give me 4 for 30, and we're good. That's it. That's all you need to do. And then the game starts, and Joe Burrow continues to throw things over his head, which I don't know how you throw over a 6'4" guy. It doesn't make any sense. And then maybe I had the NFL pegged wrong. Maybe their definition of catch radius isn't what mine is, because apparently T. Higgins needs to be hit in the chest for it to be considered a catchable target for him, because several that I watched hit him in the hands and he dropped them. And then I lost by 3. So here's what's going to happen. T. Higgins is currently dead to me, and he has 1 week to redeem himself. And if he doesn't, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to spend the rest of my life earning as much money as I can. And I'm going to buy every Bengals jersey that exists except for T. Higgins, because I don't want him to ever get any revenue. And I'm going to have thousands and thousands and thousands of Bengals jerseys. I'm going to write in a field somewhere, T. Higgins sucks. And then I'm going to light them on fire so that a satellite can see them. And then I'm going to take a picture and I'm going to send it to T. Higgins every day for the rest of my life because I hate him so much. That felt pretty good, actually. Whew.
Glad you're back. Glad you're able to, have a safe space provided to you to express how you truly felt. So
also, Josh Kelly's terrible at football. Okay, now we're done.
Forget about him.
Yeah, had to get that last bit in there.
Trent Richardson syndrome, that guy.
Jesus God.
Oh boy, he's not good at football.
So I just want to, before we move on, um, go in or go on, I'd like to recap. We're not doing that this week, right?
We are not.
Last week, we all missed on Kyron Williams, 89.5 yards. And me and you, Dave, hit on Jamar Chase, 14 fantasy points. Pete missed.
Crushed me
I
in the
hit,
actual league.
yeah. And then Jefferson and Addison yards, 224.5. It was 52. I don't think Jefferson had 170. So thought he only had 150.
He had
So
149.
yeah, so I hit that one, and you and Pete did not. So
Pretty
five
good
and
line
one on the
though.
season. They did a very good line.
Good line.
Surprisingly.
201.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are dominating go in or goal on, and we'll
And
see
not
if
DFS.
no, certainly not that. We'll see if you can redeem that one. Well, you kind of did. Shout out to Adam
Adam
Thielen.
Thielen. Yes.
Put me in
Game-winning
third.
touchdown.
Yeah. I think you're also undefeated in trivia as well. But I mean, going up against Pete last week in Jeopardy,
It's hard to listen to.
it was a tough listen, tough watch, depending on where you consumed that content.
The way you consume the podcast.
But we've got a new one this week.
Fantasy Football Trivia.
We've got for trivia this week what we've deemed an ultimate draft. And the way this works is that the boys will be choosing a player and a week performance from weeks 1, 2, and 3 of this year and building their fantasy team. You've got to fill out all of the spots in the starting lineup here. 1 QB, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, tight end flex, and I threw defense in there for a reason you may pick up on. And we've done these in the group chat because we're fucking nerds. And there's usually like some type of qualifier or what have you there. So qualifier for this one, gentlemen, is that no team can be used twice. So Tyler, for example, if you take a Dolphin of last week's performance, Jack, Dolphins are off the board.
Oh God.
So every team can only be used once. You also need your first 3 picks to fill out each of weeks 1, 2, and 3. After that, you can go to any week you want.
Okay.
And so
All right.
Tyler, as the forever underdog in our trivias, I will either give you the option to pick first or defer to Jack and then take picks 2 and 3.
Okay, so I'm playing the game here a little bit. Wait, so say it again?
So you are going to need to choose a player.
Yeah, but
and then
this is obviously never mind. Okay, so I'm going first.
Or you can go second and third.
Oh, that's what I missed. I'd like to go first.
It's on you then, sir. Need a player, need the week. You will receive the fantasy points they put up in that week.
So I'm gonna take Achan week 3.
Achan week 3. Achan, not Achan per
and I
Adam
did that
Schefter.
specifically because Jack has Tyreek Hill, and I know that he's very in tune with his fantasy points. So that takes away Mostert and Hill from him.
That it does. So you will receive 51.3. which seems like a good start.
I think I almost galaxy brained myself, and I didn't. I think I made the right choice.
It's the right choice. It was 100% the right choice.
Okay.
Dolphins are off the board. Jack, you've got 2 picks.
I will take Keenan Allen week 3.
Keenan Allen week 3 also
Very
feels pretty good. He dominated through the air. He did the Puka Nakua, actually. He had 20 targets and 18 catches and also threw a touchdown. So Keenan Allen, you're going to get 45.46 for Keenan Allen week 3. You've got a second pick.
And I'm not sure where to go here.
Yeah,
But-
I have an idea, but I don't know if it's
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Kyron Williams week 2. Because I don't want you to get
Williams.
Puka.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Kyron Williams week 2 had exactly 28.
I think that.
Tyler, we are back to you.
So I have 2 in a
Dolphins,
row here, right?
Chargers, and Rams are off the board, and you do indeed have 2 in a row.
And I have to do weeks 2 and 1 now.
That is correct.
Okay. So my week 2 pick, this one just stands out in my memory so much. I'm going to take Hawkinson
I almost did that.
because I think I don't know how big of an advantage, but I think he's scored the most of a tight end this whole season so far in that week.
Hawkinson week 2 put up
Yeah,
25.6.
Week 1. Well, week 1, I'm going to take Cowboys D.
Damn it.
That is why I included the defense in there, and I was wondering if the inclusion of the defense would bait somebody into not taking Achane with the first pick, but did not. 25.6 for Hawkinson. Cowboys D, you get 37 for. That feels like a pretty solid advantage. Cowboys, Vikings off the board. And Jack, we're on you for 2 picks, and you need a week 1 here.
And then he's free, right? Then he can do the rest week 3 if he wanted to.
And then you're free.
Sorry. So, man, I don't remember.
That's, yeah.
I know who I'm gonna pick. Second, I know who I'm gonna pick next. I am just going to pick week 1 Christian McCaffrey.
Feels safe.
I know he had 20 some points.
Yeah.
Cool.
And now there's no 49ers.
You took my
Correct.
team, but not my player. I guess we can talk about it because they're off the board.
Ayuk week 1.
Yes, that's what I was hoping.
You
got
wanted
back to
Ayuk
me.
week 1. Yep. CMC, cool 25.9 for week 1. So feels pretty solid.
And I'll take Devontae Adams week 3.
Tyler knows all too well how Devontae Adams did in week 3.
I do.
42.2. Jack in true Jack fashion is just dominating receivers.
All right, so I'm gonna take. Let's see, who's on the board still? Okay, I'm gonna take Swift week 2.
Seems pretty good. He had 175 on the ground.
Yeah, and I'm gonna take Man, do I want to play this game? I don't know if this is going to pay off.
We'll find out soon.
I think it might fuck me, but it also might not.
Jack, tell Lexi we said hi.
It's the show. Must be the show.
Like I'm thinking right now, if like, is playing defense here specifically for the tight end position, is that a good move? And I don't know because I don't know other tight end scores. So you have a flex left, your tight end left.
You both need a QB.
Yeah. I'm just gonna go for it, I think. So I have one more pick this round.
You do.
Mhm.
There's gotta be other really high scoring receivers, right? I'll figure it out. I'm gonna take Laporta week 3 as my flex.
Not bad.
Because I know he has like 18, and I don't know the next highest, and I'm sure there are some that are high, but I don't remember them. So I'm hoping Jack also doesn't remember them, so he has to just pick a throwaway tight end or guess. I don't know though.
Interesting.
That is going to take the Lions and the Birds off the board.
Yeah.
And Jack, on you for 2 picks. You need a QB, a tight end, flex, and a defense.
Okay, I'm going to take Danny Dimes week 2.
Danny Dimes week 2. That is a 30 burger for the young man. And where are we going next?
Give me the Bills defense week 3.
Bills defense week 3. You got it.
Okay. You. Thank you.
It's a pretty solid number.
You're welcome. I mean, I wasn't going to pick a tight end, and I want my flex to be open. That was why I went QB and defense there.
Well, I took the gamble and it paid off. I'm gonna take Adam Thielen week 3. That's what I wanted to get back to me, and I didn't know if you were gonna play like it was a risk taking a tight end in my flex there, because you could still have taken him as your flex. That was what I didn't want to happen. And then
Adam Thielen week 3, 31.5.
I need another receiver, right?
You need a receiver and a quarterback.
Oh God, I know there are probably better receivers, but I don't remember them. So I'm just gonna take Ridley week 1.
Doesn't
It was a
feel
good
too
week.
bad.
I don't want to say anything because I could be helping Jack.
24.1 for Ridley week 1. That will take the Jaguars off the board. Quick score update. We've got Tyler with 219, Jack with 204.3. Tyler needs a quarterback. Jack, you need a tight end and then a flex.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. I have no other choice. I'm gonna go with Hunter Henry week 1.
No Mike Gesicki.
No Mike Gesicki.
What did he do week 1? I know
Week
he had
1
the
was
touchdown.
5 for 56 and 1.
Okay. Yeah. It was. Yeah.
Jack, for the record, you just left 0.6 points on the board for Hunter Henry week 2.
Yeah. And in honor of Yes. Give me T. Higgins week 2. Now you can't take Burrow.
I don't.
How's it
That's
gonna
terrible.
How's it gonna feel to lose because of
Lose
T
to him
Higgins
twice. So what do I need here?
You need 30.8.
Oh God, I don't think that exists.
If you would like to talk through your thought process
Yeah, sure.
here.
So I was hoping that I needed like 28 because I was going to take Lamar.
I don't think it exists.
Stroud may have done it, but I don't. I think the highest was Daniel Jones this season, which wouldn't even have been enough if you left it there. Because I don't think even
Really,
Love did it.
I know who I would say, but I still don't think it would do it.
Well, what's Stroud is coming to mind.
Gonna be tight. I also don't believe there's one, but there are a couple that will get you very close.
Well, that doesn't help me. I don't
No,
care
it
if I
doesn't.
get close.
Yeah, and both of those teams are off the board.
Yeah, so just give me Lamar week 3. It's the only one I know for sure is close-ish.
Lamar week 3 is gonna get you 28.18.
I couldn't remember which Stroud week it was. It might have been 1 or 2, but he had a lot. God damn it.
What did Russ get in week 2?
Russ in week 2 finished with, I believe, 26.
Okay.
25.92. So he would have been close.
Did I get the
two that
highest remaining?
I believe you did was Lamar. Yeah, because Kirk Cousins and Herbert both had like, I think 29 point something, but those teams were already eliminated from contention.
How did I
So
not remember Higgins week 2 instead of Ridley? Idiot.
the
I
double
also
tight
think
end did not pay
so.
off.
I
I mean,
also would have taken A Chain. Like if I had the choice, I would have went first and taken A Chain. I had a huge advantage going
on
first on the like being able to just grab Devontae Adams with Keen. Like I knew it was 40 points.
That was a big week. All right. Well done.
Hey, at least I
Jack
put up
remains. Yes, that was very close. It was less than 3 points, which is
what
coincidentally
I lost by. Yeah.
the exact same amount
Shut
you
up.
lost
Move
to who you played. So Jack remains undefeated in trivia. Good job, Jack.
Thank you. Take a
And
bow.
yeah, there you go. Take a bow.
All right, so tonight's episode is sponsored by Miller Lite. Does not taste like the Rockies. It's Miller time. And back to the show.
Well done.
And anybody else that wants to sponsor, please email hifpod@gmail.com.
The live look behind the scenes for a moment. So stop sharing screen because of trivia. And then I played the DFS drop. And then you just started talking. And I'm thinking in my head, like, why are you talking over the drop that's playing? Forgot to share sound again. So thanks for plugging the silence.
That worked out.
Yeah, that'll be fun to listen back to. In any case, now that my computer's set up properly, we're moving on.
DFS Showdown.
Adam Thielen ended my life last week. And Jack, do you remember the exact amount that you beat me by with that last
It was
touchdown?
0.7.
That's tough. Pete smashed us though, so
He did.
good work to Pete.
He came in with 167, and I had 133.98, which was
He did.
0.8 more than you.
Yeah. I had Justin Jefferson and Keenan Allen, which was like 79.5, and somehow I still lost. Probably because I got goosed by Josh Reynolds, and Mike Gesicki is a problem.
Yeah. Well, only for you.
Yeah, that's fair. Might be the only one out there still believing in you, pal. But it might be that time to no longer do that. Anyway, DFS week 4. There may be some free squares at the quarterback position this week. I was toying with going with them. I was toying with building some high-priced QB lineups, knowing that they'd be different from you guys, but it just didn't make sense. So I'm going with Jameis Winston at home against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 5,300. And he's going to be slinging that thing.
Revenge game. I hope I'm going to keep this trend going. And I'm playing Andy Dalton. Obviously, I'll change it if Bryce Young suits up, but he's at home versus Minnesota. Minnesota cannot defend anything. And also, their offense turns the ball over all the time. So,
They really do.
what with
That's
Dalton?
also a
We'll see what
problem.
happens.
Well, I did not continue the trend. I paid up a little bit, and I went with Tua, who I am pretty
Seems
confident in will just continue to throw the ball a lot.
Yes,
And I
he
know the
will.
Bills' defense is good, but I think that game is. Let's just say I wanted pieces of that game.
Mm-hmm.
Spoiler alert.
Me too.
Me, 3. I did not want pieces of that game at running back. I went with Jalen Warren at 5,000 and our boy DeAndre Swift at 5,700.
I'm going to jump in here real quick because I also went with Jalen Warren and DeAndre Swift.
Ah, look at that.
I also went with Jalen Warren and DeAndre Swift.
Well,
Oh
they
my
don't count.
And running backs don't matter.
In life or in this.
There we go. All right.
Please have the same receivers.
I did play running back in the flex.
Okay.
I did not. So that'll be
Me
different.
neither.
Could you imagine if our entire, I mean, this would never happen because your quarterback is like 3,000 more, but imagine if it was only the quarterbacks that differed.
Are different. Ours could be very similar, Dave.
It certainly could
I mean,
be.
you probably played Tyreek Hill.
I may have.
Same.
I played Tyreek Hill. Everyone played Tyreek Hill.
Yep,
Did everyone also play Stephon Diggs?
I did.
I did not.
Okay. I've got aforementioned Stephon Diggs, Tyreek Hill, and Marvin Mims
I like it.
Okay.
at receiver.
I have Tyreek Hill, and then I went back to the grain with good old Adam Thielen, stacked him up with Andy Dalton, and then I have Josh.
Also revenge game
Yes,
for Adam Thielen.
yes, it is. And then I have Joshua Palmer. It's my third receiver.
Classic.
I
Tyler, you
went
have Tyreek, Diggs, and
Tank Dell.
I like that too.
I was
You
between
got it.
him or Thielen.
Yeah. The revenge game narrative, it's usually a good play. Who y'all got at tight end?
The
I have
Mute.
Kincaid, so I wanted a Bill, so I went with Dalton Kincaid. I don't love it, but I wanted a piece of that game, and I paid up for somebody else besides Diggs.
I wanted multiple pieces of that game. So in addition to Diggs, I also have Dalton Kincaid at tight end.
I almost went for him, but I went with Muth.
Who?
Maybe
Friday?
we'll get Luth again.
He gets targets in the end zone. That's all I
Yeah.
care about.
Jack, you said you paid up for flex. Who you got there, boss?
CMC.
That is the definition of paying up.
Yep, and it's a lot better than my flex.
I would assume so. I hope so. Played two 4K receivers.
And your flex is?
Joshua Palmer.
Yeah.
There we
I
go.
was surprised. Like,
A lot of overlap.
yeah, that just seems like
Yeah.
for 4,000, just for the chance of him
Yeah,
getting those targets, that seems like a steal.
it seems like a good bet.
I think they released the salaries before, like, I don't know when, but they couldn't have done that after they knew Williams wasn't going to play.
I believe the salaries come out like very early on Monday. So like Monday night's performance definitely doesn't affect it. But yeah, there was some uncertainty there. So that could have played a role. I also paid up at flex. You may have noticed I didn't stack yet with Jameis Wilson. That is because I have Chris Olave in the flex.
Wilson.
Did you just say Jameis Wilson on purpose?
Jameis Wilson, did I?
Yes. I didn't know if that was a joke or not.
Nope, it's a Christian Kirk Cousins situation. Stop me ever again if I do something like that. Chris Olave with Jameis Winston at quarterback. And for defense, I've got the Panthers at home against Minnesota.
Same.
Cardinals in of DFS, and I paid up for defense. I have the Eagles.
Yep. I had several lineups created with them, and I just could not make it work elsewhere. But
It doesn't
Tyler,
feel
that's
good,
gonna feel bad for us when the Eagles sack Sam Howell
Dude,
12 times.
Can we just take a moment for those of you listening who, or somehow, if you found this podcast and you aren't Eagles fans that know us directly,
Spoiler
dude,
alert, there's no one.
That defensive line is insane.
It's a real problem for
ridiculous.
Like
other
Carter
quarterbacks.
is like,
Our best player.
He's playing like a Pro Bowler. He's played 3 games. He looks like the
Playing
best defensive lineman I've seen this year.
The fumble he forced was just an incredible play.
Yeah, that's something
Ridiculous.
like savvy veterans do.
Yeah,
That's something JJ Watt would do. Like
Yeah.
many years into the league. He was like, "Oh, there's the ball. Let me just go get it."
Just go force a fumble real quick.
He like you had to turn around and have the mind to know that you could still impact this play and not just lay on the ground and say, "Oh, I did my job." Like he's just incredible.
Dude, Rashad White
Yeah.
attempted that spin move and like made that collision
Yes.
even more violent than it would have been. Like spun
Mhm.
directly into Jalen Carter's fist.
Rashad White was having a bad day because the amount of times that he was being bear hugged by Jordan Davis was
Immediately upon
Yeah.
receiving the football.
like he would just run through the slightest hole and then just get swallowed by I mean, he looks like a polar bear out there.
He's massive. The only person bigger than him is Jordan Mailata.
And it's only height wise because Jordan
Yeah.
Davis might have shoulders that are wider than I am tall. And
It's a funny image of you laying sideways
It
across
is.
his shoulders and you not being
Not
on the side of
longer.
him.
To be fair, I'm not the tallest person, but yeah.
You're still a human.
Wow. Ouch. Dwarves everywhere.
Get bodied.
Sorry to the dwarves and elves that are tuned in tonight.
I meant dwarves as in like little people. I wasn't talking about fantasy, but even worse.
Yeah.
So you heard it here. Jack doesn't think you exist or are human.
Shout out to Middle Earth.
Yeah, Sauron's coming to get you.
Sees
All right.
everything. All right,
Oh, man.
we're moving on.
Bold predictions.
The YouTube algorithm is going to love that Middle Earth discussion that we just had there.
Definitely. I'll add it as a tag. Hashtag Middle Earth.
And there's the show title.
Dave, I think your second bold prediction might be the one I've felt least confident about in our entirety doing this podcast.
All right.
Really?
Yes.
Because I think I agree with Dave.
On both?
No, the first one I think is worse than the second one.
What?
Well,
Why
let's
don't you
get
tell
them
the
out there.
listeners?
Let's get them
Yeah.
out there.
This is
So
great audio.
yeah, so we can stop just debating in our own heads here. I've got two bold predictions, just straight up. This team's going to beat that team. Panthers going to beat the Vikings. Vikings are traveling east, and I think the Vikings are going to fall to 0-4. And then the second one is going to be Texans beating the Steelers.
Yeah, that I think is insane because the Texans O-line is not good, and the
They are not.
Steelers pass rush is very good. I think TJ Watt's going to have 11 sacks. I think where is this game? Is it in?
It is
Pittsburgh?
in Houston.
Okay, that helps. But I just
In
think
Middle Earth.
yeah, it's in literally Middle Earth. I think I would bet all the money I'm going to spend on Bengals jerseys that doesn't happen.
Can I ask you what you currently believe the line is for that game? Because looking at I'm gonna give you a little hint here. Looking at the line ahead of time gave me, I mean, this is a
I would
podcast that
say
10 people listen to, and I don't have any money on this, but this gave me the idea. I was gonna say the confidence, but that sounded not correct. The idea to go ahead and pick the Texans over the Steelers.
I'm gonna say it's Steelers like -4.5.
I think it's probably even less, probably like 2.5.
Yeah, it's a 3-point line.
I
Texans
win
are
that.
Texans +3.
That over under trivia, Jack. I'm now
You
in the
do.
win column.
There you go.
Good
You heard
work.
it here. Streak over.
Yeah. Well, Vegas is certainly right a lot more than I am. That just feels like, I mean, their pass rush. They're like first in every category as far as like defensive line stats. I don't know. What do I know?
We'll see. So I don't know who makes the schedule. Obviously, like people in the NFL. There's like 8 division games, maybe more this week.
There are
It's
several.
like a really weird week in my opinion. So I think we're gonna see like a lot lower scoring than we did last week, which isn't that hot of a take because there was a lot of points last week. But and with that, I think no game is gonna be decided by more than 14 points. I think every game will be within 2 touchdowns from the final score. And I think that'll mostly be due to low scoring contests, not due to competitive football. Like Chiefs Jets, like 23-9. It's never
Well,
close.
on the opposite spectrum of low scoring games, Tyler, why don't you go ahead and
Yeah.
give your bold prediction? Because I'm going to be honest, I don't know how you think this is more believable than the Texans beating
This
the
is pretty
Steelers.
tough. It's ridiculous.
Well, this was going off of. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. I have the Bears and Broncos going over 70 total points.
Bears
was
and Broncos over 70. Oh boy.
In my head, the Broncos just got embarrassed. So I think even if they were to score and be up late, I think they would kind of do what the Dolphins did to them. And I also think the Bears, they might just be that bad. But the Broncos defense hasn't been good.
It is
And
not.
maybe they're tired of hearing I don't know, maybe this is the week they finally were like, screw it. Let's just let Justin Fields run for 200 yards and who cares? We're not going to keep him as our quarterback. I don't know. They're supposed to be bold. In hindsight,
I like
this is
it.
definitely worse than yours.
That's all I was looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a little hyperbolic earlier.
I'll take it. Well done. We are through another podcast. Any items to Google or final
Hey,
thoughts?
can you Google where T. Higgins lives?
Sure.
I would like
T.
I would like a
Higgins
specific address if it's available.
address.
I'm assuming he lives in Cincinnati.
First result, people also ask, where is T. Higgins live?
Before you
Hey,
do this, if
correct.
there actually is an answer, which I'm sure there isn't, we probably shouldn't actually say an address because it might be
We should
considered
not.
doxing. So
Yeah.
just text it to me privately.
I got you.
Also, so follow up. Can you Google where can you buy attack drones? Because
I
this is
think
a
you need a
two-part.
military contact for that.
Yeah, this is a two-part request.
Yeah. Also, according to Google, T. Higgins lives at Paycor Stadium in Cincinnati.
Told you it was Cincinnati.
He's
Correct
still
again.
trying to catch footballs.
He's homeless.
He
He should
is in the
be.
medical tent with cramps.
My hot take
really-
is he should be number 83. He's just broken, not as number 83.
Did he change numbers?
Isn't he? Yeah, he's like number 5.
He's always been number 5.
No, he was number 83 before he could be like a cooler number
No,
than in the 80s.
Tyler Boyd's always been 83.
What? Yes, you're right. Higgins was a different number.
He might have been 18. I think I
Well,
just made that up.
according to Google, T. Higgins officially
It's
changed his
5.
number from 85 to 5 on
Oh,
March of this year.
Oh.
So there you go. He used to be Ocho Cinco and is now not that. So maybe there's something to the number change.
well, go
Should
back
write
to that, T. Higgins, please, for the love of.
for the love of Tyler's team, who is now named.
What's my team name? T. Higgins sucks cock.
There it is.
Fun fact,
right.
that wasn't forced on me. I did that myself.
That's correct.
He
For
did.
those
Sorry to the kids.
that found the podcast, we have a tradition. The person that gets blown out by the most points gets renamed by the person that blew them out. We are still awaiting Mike McDaniel's response to what the Denver Broncos will be renamed after the 50-point drubbing. But yeah, Tyler, self-inflicted team name. You should write that email about the jersey number, and maybe he'll have a resurgence for you, and you don't have to
Good.
burn all the Bengals jerseys.
Goodbye.
Peace.
Thanks for listening to the Hong Kong Fusion Podcast. Send your mailbag questions to hkfpod@gmail.com, and we'll see you next week.
Shout out Satan.